Right. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do here is that I assist people in becoming in alignment with the person that they are. And I help you to do so pretty much by understanding your emotional patterns and blockages, as well as your intellectual conditioning. In other words, your mind control, your psychology, and how it affects you. But most importantly, as a spiritual healer, it's pretty much the same idea of mind, body, and soul, having all three of them coming together, becoming one, right? And for you to do so, just like I was talking about, so I talked about the mind and the body. And technically, when we're talking about the soul, we're talking about the universe at this point, right? And there are several definitions about the soul, but in this particular instance, what I'm referring to, your mind, body, and then now, a greater, what the fuck? you know, the actual universe. To make a long story short. Now, if you're coming back, you already know it's definitely a pleasure having you guys back. Always a holy communion. You know what I'm saying? The blood of Christ. You already know. So, now, as this is your first time here, I always like to pretty much talk a little bit about what spirituality is, right? Because spirituality is a tool that I use, as a spiritual healer in order for me to, convey my point or even to talk to you, right? So quite often, or generally speaking, a lot of people sometimes when we talk about spirituality, they always look at it as something that is far distant from you. And if that's not the case, they usually look at it as religion. You know what I'm saying? And also, if that's not the case, or in addition to that, you know what I'm saying? They look at it as a belief system, and the truth is, spirituality is none of that. Because all of that, in fact, derives from your spirituality, meaning that all comes from your spirit. Religion, was created by men. Our belief system are created by us. Our perspective, our, whatever you want to call it, your inspiration, what I'm saying? It all comes from you. But, and then when we talk about it's not distant because, it's not something that's far distant from you because you are spirit. In fact, when we talk about the occult is pretty much giving you a better or clearer or deeper understanding of the person that you are. The Indian calling this realm the realm of Maya, meaning this is an illusion. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but an illusion pretty much means it's not as it looks like. So pretty much as you start to delve to study yourself, then you realize there is more than just we are complex being. There is more than just our flesh or our thinking or our intellect. There's a lot more to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more of that to us. So therefore, I'm saying all of this to say, that's where the illusion comes in. So it doesn't. It's not what it looks like. Even our body is not what it looks like. And quantum physics now is telling you, I mean, shit, you could Google that shit, that even the material that you're looking at is condensed energy. Do you see what I'm saying? And now when you start to delve into, let's just say you're learning about your subconscious mind, you're learning about your conscious mind, then you're learning about all of these different things about us, and shit, like the law of manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Even that in itself should show you the complexity of us. So you can create your reality with your emotions and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, what we're really not talking about is the person doing all of that, meaning the creator. But anyway, it all comes down to all of this is just showing you as you're learning more about us, having, getting into the intangible side of us or the non-tangible side of us, then you realize we are fucking spirit. So therefore, to talk about spirituality, that's your regular day. That's you. That's you taking a shit. That's you fucking a bitch. That's you smoking a cigar. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, out of ignorance, we tend to make a separation between, let's just say the spirit and the body. But anyway, with all of that being said, now that you know spirituality is pretty much, derives from the word spirit, which is you, and then spirituality is telling the story of who you are. Now you become spiritual by simply activating or being in alignment with yourself, with the spirit that you are. That's all that is. But anyway, tonight let's get right into it. Generally speaking, every Wednesdays I talk about the masculine and the feminine energy. But tonight I wanna spend it a little bit. So we're still gonna be talking about that. But the part that I want to touch on tonight, pretty much, is it's pretty much talking about how gender association is all around us. And by gender association, like we take gender for granted. Meanwhile, everything that we're saying, that we're doing, there's orgies all around us. In our language, in our perspective, in our ways of looking at things. You know what I'm saying? We even call, the earth Mother Earth. And then the sky, now at this point, we call it God. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say, gender roles, you cannot, not only that you can't get rid of it, but it's all around us, and we also use it in our language. So the true problem becomes now, it's not necessarily, the true problem that we're having, especially in fucking America, is the fact that we don't see, how important or how vital or equally important the masculine and the feminine energy is. Because unfortunately, we have embodied or inherited this fucking toxic, patriarchal, European perspective. That shit is so fucking bad, not even women want to be women anymore. If you were to have, even if you want to tell like a bitch like how to be feminine, she wouldn't even want to hear you, dog. That's how bad the shit is. And that's why we have, pretty much, the root of, pretty much the battle between the sexes is truly because it's not what the feminine does itself. It's not truly because of the definition of what the feminine is. But it's truly because of lack of fucking sexual equality, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And right now you have the whole alpha shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas are just, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you, whereas, you know what I'm saying? But the problem, the true problem is, in addition to what I just mentioned, right? We don't see the sexual important or the equality in it. How important, because, you know what I'm saying, for you to become whole. But that's because there is a lack of harmony in us. Because we also embrace the masculine and the feminine energy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all around us. That's why in Tantric, and I think there's also an Indian religion that talks about, you know what I'm saying, these bitches be worshiping dick and shit. Because I didn't get it at first. I thought they were just freaks. You know what I'm saying? They were the Kama Sutra. And far from, like, there's no fucking orgies going on. There's none of that shit. These people are very pure, respectable people. but yet they're all worshiping dicks and shit like that. Because the women understand, the masculine energy is their complement, is their counterpart. That's what makes them whole. But see, for them to do that, they have to be in harmony with themselves. So now they're able to project that. So the reality of what we're saying, the battle between the sexes, is truly a lack of harmony in us. Do you see what I'm saying? So where I'm going with this, because that shit goes beyond, like when we talk about, and that's what the Kabbalion was telling us too. When we're talking about the law of gender, that shit is crazy. What I'm saying is, it goes beyond just dick and pussy. Obviously, that's why even in the Kabbalion they tell you, if you're looking for anything to learn about dick and pussy, you're not going to find it here, because that conversation is beyond that. Even us, we associate, we gender in our language. Now, if you speak French, I'll give you a perfect example. Table is feminine. That's why they say la table. It's feminine. So therefore, that's why you have to dress up the table. Your table's got to be radiant. Your table got to look good. Do you see what I'm saying? So all of that, it's all part of us. We have embodied not just that we are associating gender roles with everything that we do, but we have, for you to become whole, you know what I'm saying? Your intuition and your intellect has to come together. So the toxic patriarchal bullshit, you know what I'm saying, is telling you your intellect is better than your fucking emotions. And because you're looking at it this way, guess what? Your body at this point, that's why, the whole Gnostic shit, the whole fucking, any European-based religion will always put the feminine energy down. And everything that comes with the feminine energy as well. Not just women, like your body, for instance. Your body is also regarded as a feminine energy. Right? So therefore you have to control your body. It has to be controlled. It has to be, do you see what I'm saying? Like that toxicity, whereas the mind and the body comes together. Your intuition is not against your intellect. They complement each other. If somehow I got this download, this intuition, I know for me, a lot of times I get a lot of fucking downloads, right? So I would get the intuition, I would get the shit, but yet I can't express it yet. Or I don't know how to explain that shit. Yet. Damn, my bad. So that's where the masculine and the feminine has to come together. Or if you receive some sort of or some sort of intuitive knowledge or intuitive direction from spirit, you're gonna have a symbol, your dreams. Those are all fucking, you know what I'm saying, feminine energy that are being expressed to you. Then you need to use your masculine. They complement each other. They don't go against one another. Your intellect is no better than your fucking intuition, nor is your intuition greater than your intellect. They complement each other. You see what I'm saying? So once you start looking at it this way, you know what I'm saying? And here's something else too, because I've been listening to a lot of people sometimes when they talking about the masculine and the feminine energy, right? People tend to generalize this shit. Like when we say Mother Earth, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same shit too. I hear niggas talking about, Jesus is God's son, SON, SUN. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? So think about this, man. Like, even when it comes to, certain things, like I hear motherfuckers breaking down like why Earth is feminine. right? But what they fail to realize is that this shit is not universal, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, we speak English, right? There's a state of mind that it comes with. It's not universal. In fact, our ancestors didn't even look at Earth as a feminine energy, dog. I know we call him Mother Nature and all that shit. Guess what? Look up fucking Geb. Geb. In fact, what they call him the sky god, which is in European perspective, you know, the sky god is a masculine. For us, it was Nut. Nut was the feminine. And she was the sky god. And then her brother, which was Geb, was masculine. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So it's not universal, motherfucker. And it comes with a state of mind. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with, you know what I'm saying, the moon and then the fucking sun. A lot of motherfuckers always saying, you know, like the sun is masculine. Why? Because it radiates. Well, that's what the feminine energy does. I know for me, I'll give you a perfect example, right? My relationship with my dad, we got closer as we got older. So back in the days, or in our ancestors, that's why they looked at the moon as a masculine energy. Because the masculine wasn't as present as the sun, as shiny, as when your mother is raising you. Now, I'm not saying this is better than the other. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All I'm saying is, you gotta look at the bigger picture, baby. That's truly what I'm trying to tell you. And that's why, too, like, when I talk about, you know, that's why I talk about culture, man. All that shit. Yes, sir. Because spirituality, it's the way you're looking at it. You are the creator, baby. You know, but now, if, you know, that's why the true purpose of being enlightened is to embody all of it. That's why the true spiritualist, I don't want to say true spiritualist because we're all spiritual, but, you know, when you reach the highest state of consciousness, you embody everything. Nigga, I say namaste, shalom, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm all of them, and I'm none of them. But anyway, where the fuck was I gonna go? So we were talking about how, yeah, so it's a culture type of thing when we, you know, how we define based on language, based on understanding, right? That's how we create our gender association. But most importantly, here's where I wanted to go with this too. Because the thing about gender association is that it kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, even the way we look at God. And I think in one of my shit I talked about, if you're looking at God as your father, well, guess what, man? You know, there's a certain, like, you're going to behave a certain way. Do you see what I'm saying? You're going to behave a certain way. And especially now, if you don't understand how vital the masculine and the feminine energy is. Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't understand how vital that is, then at this point, that's where you're going to have the battle between the sexes. God cannot be. That's why, you know, even if you learn about the history of the whole fucking European spirituality, you know, I was watching, was it a documentary or a movie? I don't remember. But they were talking about how they used to worship the goddess. And then Christianity now changed everything. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them hoes, man. Them hoes ain't loyal. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It got to a point where not shit. Not even bitches want to be bitches anymore. And that's what your feminine your feminist bullshit is pretty much all about. And you have bitches who trying to be niggas. You know, shout out to Brother Panic on that one because that shit is well said. Like, I don't see no other way of saying that shit. And that's exactly what you motherfuckers are doing. Try to be better niggas. Period. But anyway, because that's very important. And even in that too, because the whole it goes deeper, man. It goes deep. Because even the whole, Gnostic understanding or even religion or religious perspective is based on, not embracing the body and the mind together or matter and spirit together. So it's almost like, this idea for you to truly prevail spiritually, you have to somehow suppress the body. And that then transform into, fuck humanity. That transform into, but it's all layers of the same shit. It's just being transformed in oh shit, this shit is toxic, man. You know what I'm saying? It's no harmony. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's now being translated in so many different ways. Because, the underlying, because we don't truly see how vital it is for the masculine and the feminine energy to come together. And because we don't see it that way, guess what now? Earth is fucked up. The Earth, guess what? I almost forgot. Aren't we looking at Earth as Mother Earth? I almost forgot about this part. Hell no, you can't have that. Do you see what I'm saying? And even in our language too, man. Like I've been listening to brothers like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I say not to argue with, the feminine energy, but I'm not saying not to argue because they are stupid. No, I'm saying not to argue with them because, we looking at shit from a logical perspective. That's like I'm speaking orange, you're speaking fucking banana. You know what I'm saying? But when I listen to other people who are saying the same thing that I'm saying, what they're truly saying is it's like these motherfuckers are stupid. Or what they call women being emotional. They associate being emotional with fucking stupidity, which is not the case at all. At all, at all, at all. You know what I'm saying? Them being emotional strictly has to do with, they act on their feelings. So meaning in 1 minute, she could feel hot, the next minute she feel cold. In every single one of those situations, she's telling the truth. Because it's based on how she feels at the moment. But anyway, so what I truly want, I guess I'm talking about it, but the angle where I'm trying to take this to is for you to understand how vital, gender roles are and how deep that shit goes. It goes so deep, man, like we're not even like really thinking about how deep that shit is. Hold up, let me get my shit, because we're going to talk some shit. And all of that shit derives from fucking religion. And of course, Adam couldn't say no. You know what I'm saying? Eve had to seduce the bitch, the motherfucking nigga, and all that shit. And you could see, the imbalance. And the funny thing is, as you are growing spiritually too, I bet you the understanding of that, of that creation tale will change. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, I don't know, Eve is just that intuitive side of fucking Adam. And the serpent has always been regarded as fucking wisdom, has it not? Only in Christianity, the serpent is regarded as fucking evil. Even the caduceus, right? When we talk in medicine, you see, you know what I'm saying? The serpent is there. Only in Christianity, bro. You're dealing with fucking perspective here. And because of that, guess what? The separation between mind and body, the separation between matter and spirit. And that's the spirituality that these motherfuckers are talking about. Which is a fucking illusion. Whereas we're saying, if you're saying this is a fucking illusion, why separate the mind and the fucking body if this is a fucking illusion? In fact, by you separating those two, you know what I'm saying, that is the actual fucking illusion. But outside of that is the separation of the masculine and the feminine energy as well. This shit goes deep, man. And it's being reflected in our culture. Do you see how complex we are? Do you see how deep we are, man? Shit's deeper than you think. Shit, you probably didn't even think that deep. But anyway. So, I guess what I'm truly saying here is that gender role or gender association, we as gods or as human, we've always associated, the feminine and the masculine energy, around us with certain things. We've always done that. And that also goes to show, that we are surrounded by orgies, meaning the masculine, the sexual, the union between the masculine and the feminine energy. Now, due to ignorance, unfortunately, that's where you're getting all that toxicity from, the toxic masculine. Mm-hmm. And here's something else too, like, I think also another reason why they used to look at the sun as a feminine energy. Can you believe that? I can. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying, without the sun, well, there's no life, right? Okay. Well, without birth, without the feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get it. You know what I'm saying? The masculine, is as the point here is that is the point. You know what I'm saying? Is now my point is to how vital or equally vital that they are, right? Because shit, you can't just have women and not having, what I'm saying, that seed to go in her as well. You know what I'm saying? But what we do have, unfortunately, is the battle between the sexes. But anyway, to get back to that example, it's just to show you how being in that state of mind, how women was being viewed as the sun, or as the sun was being viewed as a feminine energy because of also of her radiance too. They are the light of the world, man. Mm-hmm. The Africans had this shit. They say, what the fuck did they say? Well, we say shit, nigga, because I'm African too, nigga. I'm all of you niggas. We say you educate a man, you get yourself a fucking educated man. But when you educate a bitch, you the whole generation because we is being educated because we understand that women raise kids. I'm not saying the dad has nothing to do with it or dad, you know what I'm saying, it's not important. That's not what I'm saying at all, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that first connection, that first thing, it's always that. And the men, you know what I'm saying, could be seen as the moon because we come in a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? I know at least for me, shit, uh, and I'm like in my early 40s, so I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? So shit, you know what I'm saying? So again, forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me. I guess what I'm trying to say is shit. I don't want to generalize the shit to say that's the reality for every man. That's why I said the shit that I just said in terms of my age and shit. But niggas, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So gender roles plays a big part in our lives, man. We are surrounded by it, and it goes beyond dick and pussy. Dick and pussy at this point is just a manifestation of something that's way greater than dick and pussy. Just like in us, we have both we have embodied both masculine and feminine energy in us. You know, so the social issue that we're currently having in terms of the masculine, or the battle between the sexes, it's a reflection of a lack of harmony that we have in us. And it shows even in the way we look at spirituality because there's no harmony. So that's why when I say or I talk about African spirituality, because it's based on Ma'at, which is balance, the scale, mind and body together, not a separation. Mm-hmm. Let me get my shit, niggas. So, I'm saying this to say, shit, I've been saying a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I think I might as well stop it here. Uh, what was the other point I had in mind? There was something else that I wanted to talk about. So, we already talked about not only how deep, the masculine and feminine energy goes in us and the lack of harmony that we have in us that is being reflected socially and also is blocking us from becoming in true alignment with ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? To become spiritually whole, your masculine and your feminine has to come together. Meaning your intuition, you gotta have what I'm saying, and a clear mind. They gotta go together. So it's almost like, even in that fucking toxic patriarchal European spirituality, you know what I'm saying? Like, they anything feminine, relating to earth, body, you know what I'm saying? They suppress all that shit. And the suppression of that, there's a state of alignment that you're not gonna have, my nigga. Or trust me, I know. There's a whole like you're not gonna become whole that way. So therefore, you're gonna have a lack of you won't be able to see the big picture either. the way your perspective will always be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to see further. You know what I'm saying? You can't go the distance, nigga. Because it's not ma'at based. Come on now, niggas. Come on. Baby, 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 come on. Baby, come on. Baby, come on. Hold up. Wait a minute. So spiritually, this shit is hurting us too. Because now you don't have a bigger perspective because you are looking at shit from only a masculine perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's like you talking about your conscious mind and saying fuck your subconscious mind. How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that the purpose of the whole masculine, the whole subconscious mind and the conscious mind to actually come together? For you to have harmony, they have to come together. By you understanding that even your ego, even the whole perception of your ego, it's just fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this European-based spirituality, the ego takes a black like a backslash for everything. You know what I'm saying? Something happened to you, is your motherfucking ego, nigga. What? You're not conscious. That's your ego, nigga. What the fuck that has to do with anything? It's pure ignorance, man. Pure ignorance. Hold up, niggas. Let me get my shit real quick. So understand. Mm-hmm. An unhealthy balance between the masculine and the feminine energy affect us in many different ways. And this shit goes deep. So deep into our fucking, ways of looking at life, our spirituality, our perspective. Well, shit, if you want to say it that way, even looking at God itself. Can you see God as a female? Which means they would have to have cycles. You know what I'm saying? God would have to bleed once a month, nigga. And don't we all have to go through our cycles, man? Just saying. Anyway, man, I'm wilding for a minute, man. But it's just to show you, again, you know what I'm saying? The Kabbalion was definitely motherfucking right. If you're looking for dick and pussy, man, this shit goes beyond that. And, just like I was talking about too, man, and because our body, you know what I'm saying, is being regarded as chaotic too. You know what I'm saying? Because a nigga, you could get a hard on without even you consciously, you know what I'm saying, trying to get your dick hard. You know what I'm saying? I know that shit happens to me a few times, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I was younger too, in school and shit. You know what I'm saying? You see a bitch and your dick's like, whoa, what the fuck, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And we all know that. That's why we say that shit has a mind on its fucking own, right? But then again, because of these things, instead of us learning how to cope with our body, learning how to embrace our body, So, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I would have to say the European perspective now is to suppress all of that shit. So now you're saying for you to become very spiritual now, you have to transcend your body. You know what I'm saying? You have to put your body, like you have to control your body to a point where, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know what I'm saying, you will not be able to prevail spiritually. And that is that is pure bullshit. It's pure bullshit, dog. It's purely one sided. Trust me. You're gonna grow even more spiritually once you embrace your body, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because now at this point, you know what I'm saying, you'll have a bigger perspective. And the whole idea, like I always tell you guys, you know, about even Jesus having the long hair, is embracing the feminine energy with the masculinity. So again, you cannot. I mean, it's gender roles is so layered. It's all around us, and it's being done in different levels as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, I don't recall which one of my recordings or what was I talking about. But, you know, I have this saying I always tell niggas, you know what I'm saying? Find, date the woman in your house first before you date somebody else. And technically, what I'm trying to say to you is that embrace your femininity first. And again, niggas, that has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, all the gay shit that's taking place or none of that shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, mm, my op motherfuckers, embrace the masculine and the feminine energy. Understand that they complement each other. And for you to become whole or perfect, you know what I'm saying? You know, society is nothing but a reflection of us. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, what we're seeing in the battle between the sexes is that it's a lack of harmony that is being reflected on a social level, and best believe it is also being reflected spiritually too. Definitely, definitely. Now, we're just gonna leave it there. You already know. Aishin, Ali.